Welcome back to Piers Morgan Uncensored. This is coverage of the Boris Johnson confidence vote, which he has won. 359 Conservative MPs voted, 211 voted to have confidence in him continuing as Prime Minister. 148, a large number, voted against him. But he has survived. And joining me now is SNP's Westminster leader, Ian Blackford. Mr. Blackford, your response to this vote?
My heavens, Piers, I have to say I'm astonished at the scale of the rebellion against the Prime Minister. 148 MPs, a far worse result than, for example, Margaret Thatcher faced when she faced her difficulties, or Theresa May faced. And when you think about it, this is a Prime Minister that can now only count on the support of 1/3 of the members of the House of Commons. You know, I think anybody else in the position that Boris Johnson is in today would recognise that the game is up. He's lost the moral authority to lead. He's lost the support of a sizable percentage of his own party. He doesn't have the support of the House of Commons. He's a man that I believe has abused the office of Prime Minister with his behaviour. And the sooner he goes, the better. If he's not going to go tonight, I suspect that the pressure on him is going to mount over the coming period.
But, I mean, we know Boris Johnson, and he's very unlikely to go voluntarily. And the mechanism for removing him has now been attempted, and he would argue has failed. The rebels have tried, they didn't get enough. He's won, he lives to fight another day. How will the system stop him continuing?
Well, first and foremost, Piers, when you've got a situation, I mean, you and I understand how important loyalty to the leader is in a parliamentary party. But when you've got more than 40% of your own colleagues are prepared to vote against you, that is not a good look. This is going to make it extremely difficult for him to command the support and trust of his own party, never mind the House of Commons. It's a lame duck Prime Minister, and one that we know is going to face very challenging circumstances in by-elections in the weeks to come. So this is not going to go away. The Tory party will have to find its own mechanism. But of course we have the Privileges Committee as well. I believe that the Prime Minister has not just lied to the House, he's broken the ministerial code, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. But this is not over. There are many hurdles for the Prime Minister to get through. We all know that he has had an ability to escape the clutches of those seeking to hold him to account. But in the end, this will end in the removal and the failure of Boris Johnson's premiership.
I mean, give me an honest answer, Mr. Blackford. Is it at the stage now where you'd almost rather keep him in his position because he's so damaged?
No. I understand why you say that. I understand why many people would say that, Piers. But at the end of the day, I think this man is a disgrace to the office that he holds. Yeah, I get the point that some people would argue that for us electorally he's an asset. But I believe that this man is damaging our democracy to such an extent. It's in nobody's interest to keep him in power. When you've got a Prime Minister that broke the law, the first Prime Minister in history, everything that's gone on with his behaviour, and his behaviour will not change. He treats Downing Street, he treats Parliament as a personal plaything. We should be talking about what's happening with the cost of living crisis. We should be talking about Ukraine. But it always comes back to this man, Boris Johnson.
Ian Blackford, thank you very much for joining me.